Hi everyone, welcome back to the Better You podcast. This is by Trisha and I'm excited to have you all back for a solo episode. I just turned 25 and I'm officially part of the Quarter Life Crisis Club. To any of the listeners who are also 2000 born babies and you've already celebrated your birthday, welcome also to this club. We are finally at a stage in life where we are not considered old enough, but also not young anymore. It's a scary feeling, I would say. I mean, I've always wondered how it would feel like to be 25, and now that I've lived 25 years of my life, it is going well, but obviously, life doesn't go as you plan. I'm still grateful for all the new opportunities that I have received in my life. In today's episode, I want to share the 25 lessons that I've learned in 25 years of my life. And I hope this episode is something the listeners would find interesting, inspirational, and relatable. I've grouped these lessons into 5 themes that would hopefully help you navigate life, be it if you are facing your own challenges, maybe your first career, first relationship, or just finding yourself. The 5 themes are personal growth, relationships, career, finance, and resilience. I hope you enjoy. Theme 1: Self-awareness and growth. Lesson 1: Know yourself and like being you. Before you can truly connect with anyone else, you need to understand your values, your limits, and what makes you feel fulfilled. What your likes and dislikes are. I honestly think the biggest love you can give is to yourself. I've learned it the hard way that you can never rely on others for validation. It all starts from within. Be patient with yourself. Get to know yourself this year. Ask yourself these questions. Do you truly know what you like or dislike? Are you being in a relationship because you are ready or you're just lonely? If you can't truly answer these questions, maybe take a step back. It's time for you to reflect and spend some time alone until you are truly comfortable with being yourself before letting someone else in. Lesson 2: Comparison is a thief of joy. Social media and other people's successes can be inspiring, or they can make you feel small. Learn to filter, learn to limit, and just focus on yourself. Social media is just showing you the best moments of people's lives. They do not show you the whole journey on their challenges. And that is what being a true human is. In my experience, I've always felt small comparing myself to others. But that was an unhealthy habit that I've now changed and focused on myself inwardly. Me comparing myself with others, I realized it was coming from me not feeling full and content with myself, to the point where I would feel insecure and not beautiful enough just being myself. If you ever feel you are in that same situation, what you can do is sit in with yourself and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Because sometimes that situation is a mirror to let us know what needs we need to fill ourselves with. For example, if we feel envy towards how someone looks or dresses, it might be because we've always wanted to dress that certain way, but we weren't given a chance. So just do that. Now that you are an adult, do whatever makes you happy and own your own skin. The only person holding you back is yourself. So do not compare and be confident just the way you are. Lesson 3: Failure is necessary, be it failure in career, failure in a relationship. They are not losses. Instead, they are lessons to teach you or show you what you need to heal or improve in. And they are absolutely do not define your worth. Even though they are painful, maybe they are God's way of showing how strong you are as a person, or just God's way of protecting you for something better that's about to come. So instead, what you can do is learn from those failures because they are the best ways to connect with yourself and know yourself better. Lesson 4. Do it yourself. Don't wait for others. Be your own best friend. Be your own lover. The only person stopping you from doing things you like is yourself. If no one wants to follow you to that new cafe, why wait? Just go for it. Because yesterday will never come again. The time is ticking. If you want to do it, just do it. If you're scared what people may think of you, people are in their own bubble. People are focusing on their own life. No one cares. So just do it. Find new hobbies, and it's okay to feel lonely sometimes. I still feel that way sometimes, even though I've done many things alone. But solitude can be the most peaceful thing. Enjoying your own company, I would say, is the best thing. It's a privilege. If you're not used to it, then take it up as a challenge, because you never know, you might enjoy your solo time a lot. Lesson 5. Let life flow. This was me. I used to stress over things that were out of my control because I wanted things to be perfect. For example, I already had a plan for myself to get married by a certain age and to get kids by a certain age. But instead, I was putting pressure on myself. I realized I wasn't able to enjoy the present moments because I was so focused to having things align to how I wanted it to be. I've now learned to just trust God's timing, to trust God's plan, and enjoy the process instead. Even though I'm bound to face challenges, I know they are inevitable and I just let them come. What matters at the end of the day is how do you adapt and pick yourself up from those challenges. Team 2. Relationships and People. Lesson 6. Heal first before you get into a relationship. Whatever trauma you have, heal first. It is important to have healed before you enter a new relationship because it won't be fair for the other person if you are bringing your trauma from your childhood or past relationship into the new one. This is something I didn't realize I had until I was in my first relationship. I realized I was easily triggered, and I'm happy I'm taking this time after the breakup to heal and learn to trust myself, to trust others again. I think this is also very important for people who find it difficult to be vulnerable. Either get therapy or you need to be honest with yourself and face whatever you're afraid of. Because if you can't be vulnerable with your partner, it's going to push them away. It came to a point in my relationship where I wanted to connect on a deeper level with my partner, but he couldn't seem to be vulnerable with me. I felt really shut down, and over time I stopped trying. It felt like I wasn't able to ever be part of his world. So heal whatever you need to heal. Take as much time if you need to before you commit to being with someone, instead of hurting them at the end. Because vulnerability is essential to having a long-term relationship. And if only one person is willing to be vulnerable, it will never work. Lesson 7. Select where your energy is spent. Not everyone deserves your energy. Learn to spot relationships that lift you instead of those that drain you. Remove people. Choose the right circle. Boundaries are your friend. Saying no is not selfish. This applies to friendships or relationships. Do not be afraid to remove people from your life who do not bring the best out in you. This is your boundary and you deserve to be respected for your energy. You need to feel like a priority. You deserve to be loved loudly. And if that person cannot meet you there, then someone else deserves that place in your life. Lesson 8. Don't focus on one person. Build other social circles. Put yourself out there. Meet new people. As it was my first relationship, I thought spending all my time and energy onto one person meant that I was loyal to him. But it was very unhealthy because a truly healthy relationship means trusting your partner can have his own social circle outside of your relationship, and also trusting that you are worthy of a love that will never abandon you. Now that I know, going forward, I pray for a love that makes me feel emotionally secure enough to trust me and my partner, that we can have our own lives to grow into the best version of ourselves and come back as one that supports one another without a change in feelings. What has helped me find peace is also knowing that if a person ever chooses to abandon you, it is a reflection of their own insecurity and never you. So now I've been building on my own social circle, so when the next person comes into my life, I am complete with myself, with other support systems like my friends and family, and not put the full focus on my partner. Lesson 9. Let things go. Detach. Don't get stuck in the past. Focus on your life. God will sort out the rest. This was probably the toughest lesson for me because I hold sentimental value on memories. But what has helped me and probably can be of help for you is always remind yourself why you had to leave. Write down the pros and cons of the relationship and let that be a reminder of why things had to end. Also, try to think from a place of abundance. Think that you deserve so much more. When you start thinking that way, you believe that better things are out there for you and coming your way. So be patient, sit back, and be excited for what's to come. That will help you let go of everything else. Lesson 10. Your body knows you're in the wrong relationship before you do. This is scarily true. Here's a mini story I'd like to share. When I was in the rough patches of my relationship, I would get eczema on my skin, for example, my arms and my legs. My face would just look so drained because I couldn't sleep well and I had issues with my eyes because I was crying every day. 6 months after the breakup, I looked like a different person. I was glowing and the skin issues no more. The eyes were fine and back to normal. What I want to say from this is, trust your gut and trust your instinct. If you're thinking if the relationship is the right one for you, then it's not the right one for you. Because if it is the right one for you, you won't even doubt. You won't even think second thoughts. Honestly, I feel like females who are single are the most beautiful. I'm not discouraging people from being in relationships, but the females I have around me, including myself, we just glow differently when we're single. I guess it's because maybe the focus is on ourselves and we don't have to compromise on anything or think about how our partner will be. And naturally, I feel, for me at least, when I love someone, when I commit to someone, I really put all my energy into that person to the point that I will forget about myself and even sacrifice my own identity just to be wanted by that person. Now I know better and I will never want to do that ever again. I now have a healthier connection with myself in the sense where I check in with myself. I have a list of things that I know are my non-negotiables, and if I feel like my identity is slowly fading from my usual, I take that as a sign that the relationship might not be as healthy as I think it is. I do not self-sabotage, but instead, because I know myself better now, I trust myself to communicate that to my partner. And after some tries, if that person isn't willing to meet me where I'm at, then I'll move on. Don't waste your energy onto someone who's not willing to meet you where you deserve to be met. Lesson 11. Learn to communicate your needs. Don't hide your emotions. Bottling them up only makes things worse. This was probably a red flag of mine. I didn't know how to communicate my needs before. I grew up in an environment where people around me are people pleasers. I didn't know how to put myself first. In the past, I was afraid to do so, particularly because I was scared that if I expressed my needs, my partner would feel that I was too much and eventually leave me. But I've come to realize if someone truly respects and loves you, they will never dismiss you. Instead, they will listen to your needs and try to find a way together to make you feel better and be at peace in the relationship, instead of defending themselves. Team 3. Career and Ambition. Lesson 12. It's okay to start again. Moving back home or changing career path isn't a failure. It's a fresh start. Your career doesn't define you. It is okay to change paths and find something else you like on the way. The routes often teach you more than the planned route. This means you are on your own race, not behind others. I think this would be helpful for those listeners who are scared of restarting again. It's completely okay to feel that way, especially if things were out of your control. I'm also going through a similar period in my life. What has helped me is to trust God's plan and lean on my support systems for motivation. To make you feel better, think of it as it might be God's blessing for you. For example, maybe in your current role, you weren't valued in the team as how you hoped, and maybe you are having health issues and stressed out. So, this change in path might lead you to a better career that you are passionate in and values your skills that you bring to the company. Like they say, one door closes and 10 other doors open. Similarly, if you didn't feel like your purpose was fulfilled in the current job, a change in career path would mean that you might be able to find what truly aligns with your values. Lesson 13. It's okay to not know what you like yet and that you're still figuring things out. People might relate to this because I still haven't figured what I really want to do. I know what I want to achieve in the long run, but I honestly don't know what I want to do at this current moment. And I know my friends around me are also struggling with that. So, what helps is knowing we are not alone and it's not as isolating as it seems, because I'm sure many of us are still trying to figure ourselves out. Sometimes we need to go through a few ups and downs to discover what's right for us. So, like Dory in Finding Nemo says, keep swimming. At the end of the day, what matters most is you are doing something you like. Lesson 14. Celebrate the small wins, the small milestones. Because however big or small those milestones or achievements are, each of them should be celebrated to reflect how far you've come on your journey. For me at least, I'm someone that's so focused on achieving something that I forget how far I've come sometimes. If I look back now, the younger me would be so proud of me today because some of the things I have achieved are dreams I had growing up. For example, getting in a top university and graduating from a difficult course. Also, working in the UK. Plus, some things I didn't even know I could achieve, like starting my own podcast channel. So, when we look back, we really need to give ourselves more credits because we overlook all these things. We just focus on the new goals we are setting for ourselves. And thinking we are not good enough because we've not achieved them yet. But we forget we've already achieved so much. What we should be doing is celebrating the small wins, such as never giving up on ourselves every day. I think that is what's truly important. Lesson 15. Never stop learning. Read books, learn new skills, stay curious, and talk to people. The world keeps evolving, and so should you. There's a saying in Mandarin, 活到老,学到老, which translates as one is never too old to learn. Even the greatest leaders, they do not stop learning. They are always reading books, improving themselves, even at an age of 90 years old. And that's something I look up to and I practice because I feel like even once you achieve your goal, for example, if you become the CEO of a company or the Prime Minister of a country, every human is still evolving. There will always be something that you might be lacking in or you can further improve on. So, stay curious, have the mindset to want to keep learning and spread knowledge with others. Every new day you get to live longer, it's a privilege for you to keep improving yourself. And like my aim of my podcast, I'm also learning through speaking to people and also reading books on how to be a better version of myself. And I hope you can also be a better you. Lesson 16. Burnout is the biggest killer. Get the rest and support you need. This is essential for you to be able to perform at your very best. From my own experience, up until the point where I started to know how to express that I needed help, I was self-sabotaging myself and also realized the results were never in my favor. A great starting point is to have a trusted senior to share your struggles, but if you do not feel comfortable enough, try to find another person in your team to share it with, and hopefully they can help you. Do not ever keep it to yourself. Your own mental health and your own health is more important than keeping the job and performing well at it. As they say, you can always find another job or even be replaced by another person, but you might never be able to buy back your health, even with all the money in the world. Theme 4. Finance. Lesson 17. Start budgeting early. I didn't know how to budget properly until I started working. There's this 80-20 rule where you can follow. It is essentially allocating 80% of your income to spending, such as rent, council tax, bills, and any other expenses. The remaining 20% would go into savings and investments. I just want to put it out there that this is just one type of way to budget. There are many other ways on the internet or even YouTube which you can refer and find what budgeting method works best for you. What has helped me to save better is to create another bank account that acts as a savings account, putting that money aside to limit any unnecessary spending. And do your research because some banks offer higher interest rate than others. So select the bank that gives you the highest interest rate return to your savings. Lesson 18. Save as much so you can retire early. Like the 80-20 rule, it can be even a 70-30 or 60-40 split. I guess it also depends which stage of your life you are in your career or your role. Like with whatever you make for your income, you're able to proportionally save accordingly. Perhaps if you are earning a lot, 20% of your income might be able to help you achieve that goal of retiring early easier. But if you're at the earlier stage in life, you might want to save a bit more, and that's how the proportion can change depending on your circumstance. I think the whole idea is saving is something we all should definitely practice because you're not just saving to retire early, it's also saving for any emergencies, especially if you are early in your career. And that is a lesson I have learned and also practiced. As a female myself, I think it's great to be able to be financially independent so that if anything happens, you are not relying on a man and are able to support yourself. Lesson 19. Learn to invest. Speak to people, learn how they grow their savings. Don't just put all your eggs into one basket, as they say. Diversify instead, so the risks are spread out. Honestly, this depends what kind of risk behavior you have. If you are risk loving, you're more likely to want to invest in different types of funds. And I think that's a great way to start. It's good to be open-minded in wanting to invest in different types of funds because some might fail and some might succeed. But if you're more risk averse like myself, maybe you can start with something small and go for a safer investment option. Alternatively, the most successful people actually do not just have one career. I think this is tricky because if you are early on in your career, you might be focused on growing your current job and might not have the time to have multiple careers. But if you're ambitious, that's great because similar to how you shouldn't be putting all your eggs into one basket, having multiple careers, for example, some people might have their own YouTube channel that's giving them an extra income, or some might be founders of a business on top of their current 9 to 5 job. I think this is a great way to explore if you haven't already to grow your income faster. It can also be something that you are passionate about or a skill that you are good in. Some people teach part-time or some even use their talent in designing websites to earn extra income. So pick up a new course today. Education in yourself is a type of investment and it's the most life-changing. Lesson 20. Treat yourself still. If you like that branded bag, spend on it, especially if you worked hard for it. But obviously, know your limit. I think that's why budgeting is so important because with budgeting, you know how much is in your savings and how much you are able to spend until there is a certain limit that you know that, okay, this bag isn't for me. It's out of my budget at the moment because you still need funds also for emergencies and your daily life. That doesn't mean that in the future, I'm saving more and with me earning more, I'm able to buy that. Similar to experiences, those memories stay. So if you are thinking of trying something new, or if you have any holiday vacations you want to go with friends and family, go for it. But know your limit. At the end of the day, we can't bring all our money to the graves. So work hard, save smart, but also know when to enjoy within your limit. Team 5. Resilience and Mindset. Lesson 21. Your perspective changes everything. What's stopping you is your mindset. This is so true. I realized that once I changed my mindset to things, I was able to not take things personally and achieve so much more. I used to let the fear of what others think of me stop me from achieving what I was capable of. A few ways you can cultivate a healthy mindset. It's either 1. To surround yourself with like-minded people. 2. To journal down and encourage yourself every day through positive affirmations so that you have a very strong mindset within yourself. And lastly, 3. Connect yourself with God, because that itself will be able to bring you peace and hope that leads to a positive mindset. Lesson 22. Celebrate your uniqueness. The qualities that make you different are often your greatest assets. I used to want to be like other girls, trying to dress in a certain way or behave in a certain way, hoping that my partner would like me more if I did so. But sadly, it was the wrong mindset. Now, I embrace my uniqueness. I embrace that the qualities that I have makes me me, and he liked me because it was me. There was never anything I needed to change. It was me who didn't love myself enough. Growing up, I always felt I could be taller, and I was so insecure about that. But I want the listeners to know, if you are struggling with your own insecurity, that you are unique in your own qualities, and there's nothing that you need to change to prove yourself. You are amazing just the way you are. Lesson 23. Never give up on yourself, even when everyone does. Keep going, even when it's hard. It's not about perfection. It's the persistence that matters. That you still show up for yourself every day, put in the work with intention, and never give up on yourself. But remember to take pauses and to take rest. Because at the end of the day, we are all human. Fall down as much as you need, but you can always come back stronger. Lesson 24. Hope is powerful. No matter the pain or mistakes, there's always a chance to create a better future. This is something very inspirational and something that I bring with me along my whole life. What may be helpful for you listeners on how I stay hopeful is I remember how far I've come and the promises I've made to the little Batrisha. If no one believes in you, be that person to believe in yourself. You don't need anyone's approval to know if you can succeed or not. Be your own hope and let that be the motivation to push you through anything in life. Last but not least, lesson 25. Forgive yourself. Be gentle to yourself. Talk and love yourself like how you would to your best friend or lover. Honestly, it's great to be strong. Like everything is okay and under control. But don't you think sometimes it won't hurt to also be vulnerable and maybe let your walls down to receive support? That's something I've been working on. To trust others and let them know I am not okay. And also being gentle with myself. To know that I have days where I'm not 100% energetic and I need to rest. And that is okay because I am human. These are the 25 lessons that I've learned in the 25 years of my life. And I just want to say that I am still learning. These are my lessons. There are no right or wrong answer. Some of these lessons came painfully, some came quietly, and some I am still learning. But if there's one thing I hope you take away from today's episode is, whether you're 25, 35, or beyond that, I hope you continue to embrace your growth, honor your journey, and be gentle with yourself. Know that at the end of the day, you are still human and you are learning at your own pace. So do not compare yourself with anyone else. If you resonated with any of these lessons, I hope after today's session, you can reflect on your own experiences and maybe even jot down your lessons along the way. Comment down below if you'd like to share any of the lessons that were impactful in your life. Otherwise, if you enjoyed and was inspired by today's episode, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode. Bye!